So in the play called Ultrasound, I play a character called Miranda. She herself is hard of hearing and has grown up as a hard of hearing individual, but as she's gotten older, she's lost more and more of her hearing. And her voice is changing as well. It's becoming more like a deaf voice. And she meets this gentleman by the name of Alphonse. And he is a deaf gentleman, culturally deaf, grown up using American Sign Language. And remember that Miranda, she grew up in an oralist method. And so for the two of them coming together and trying to connect, but they did fall in love. He starts to teach her some sign. They do end up getting married. And now the play is based on, let's say, the spring of 2014, and she is currently 29 years of age. She wants to become an actress, but is finding it very difficult to find opportunities to allow for that because her voice is changing and there's a bit of a deaf accent, and directors don't appreciate the sound of her voice. So she's been searching and trying very hard. But she does appreciate Shakespeare, one of her favorites. And so later, as she's getting older and she wants to realize that she wants to become pregnant, would like to have a family, her husband's a little ambivalent about it. He's concerned about whether the child will be deaf or hearing. She doesn't care. She feels it's important that they just have a child, but he wants to make sure that the child is in the culture just like him. So you're going to see some of those struggles as they go through this issue of whether the child be deaf or hearing. I think that Miranda is confused, right? Because she's grown up around hearing people, and she's lost her hearing. And so she still feels like she's a part of that community. And as her voice is changing, she's reluctant to accept that is changing. And when she falls in love with this gentleman who is very much a member of the deaf community, then she feels like she's sort of stuck between two worlds. That she's got the deaf community and the hearing world. And she's like, but I've grown up with the hearing world. And so she feels like they should be allowing her opportunities, but she hasn't fully immersed yet in the deaf community and taken on the identity of being a deaf person, but she's losing who she used to be. And she doesn't yet feel that connection with the deaf community because she doesn't have the language fluency at this point yet. And he recognizes that. And so there is a sense of abandonment and not truly being accepted into it. And I think that makes her quite nervous that that's where his concerns are around the child. And if the child is a member of the deaf community, if the child is born deaf, then the child would feel connected to that community. And she's a little irate over that idea. It's because that's not necessarily who she is. And so I think that she feels that she's really stuck between these two worlds, and where does she belong?